When the sun rises, it does not beg for attention, it simply is. It offers its light not with force, but with silent certainty, and so should you begin each day, not from a place of chaos or reaction, but from the deep ground of your inner being. Listen to this every morning, not as a motivational scream, but as a sacred whisper from your soul to your waking self. The morning is not merely a beginning, it is a return. A return from the deep waters where your conscious mind cannot follow, where the masks you wear in the daylight dissolve into mist. When you awaken, you carry traces of that unseen world with you, fleeting symbols from your dreams, strange emotions that have no name, a heaviness or lightness in your chest that seems to arrive from nowhere. These are not random, they are echoes from the unconscious, fragments of your deeper self trying to speak. Before the world begins to impose its agenda on you, before the phone lights up with demands, before the noise of expectation floods your attention, you stand in a sacred gap. That moment, right after waking, is a mirror, but it does not reflect your face. It reflects your state of soul, the anxiety you feel, the peace you notice, the recurring images or thoughts. They are not just moods, they are messages. Clues, warnings, invitations, they speak a language older than words. To ignore this mirror is to walk into the day blindfolded. You may function, but you will not see. You may achieve, but you will not understand. The one who learns to read this mirror each morning lives differently. They do not react from the surface, they respond from depth. They do not live in distraction, they live in dialogue with the invisible. So ask yourself each morning, what is surfacing from within me? What is being revealed? What have I forgotten while trying to be what the world expects? Do not rush to fix it. Do not judge it, just see it. Witness it, because in that first sacred hour you are closest to your essence. Before the noise has time to bury it again, the one who honors this moment each day does not live a shallow life. They walk through time connected to eternity. Do not chase, align. Chasing is the movement of a fragmented self, one who believes that what they seek is always somewhere else out there, ahead, far from reach. It is the posture of someone who has forgotten their inner axis. Chasing turns life into a race, where stillness feels like failure and silence feels like death. But the truth is, the more you chase, the more what you want slips away, not because it is rejecting you, but because you are out of sync with it. You cannot grasp what you are not in harmony with. When you chase, you operate from scarcity, the belief that you are not enough as you are, that wholeness is somewhere in the distance. This mindset creates noise, anxiety, and exhaustion. It disconnects you from the very frequency that would allow what is meant for you to recognize you. Life does not respond to panic. It responds to presence. It responds to depth. It responds to alignment. To align is to return inward. It is to become still enough to hear your deeper knowing. It is to ask not how do I get it, but who must I become so it recognizes me. When you are aligned, you begin to attract, not because you're using tricks, but because you are tuned. You are no longer out of rhythm with your own nature. You become like a note that rings true, and what is meant for you begins to resonate with your presence. You don't need to beg for attention when you become attention itself. You don't need to hunt for love when you embody the qualities that love flows toward. You don't need to chase purpose when your life becomes an offering to something greater. Alignment is not passive, it is powerful. It demands that you say no to what is false so that you can say yes to what is real. Every morning, ask yourself, am I chasing or am I aligning? If the answer is chasing, pause, return, reroute yourself in your inner truth. Let go of the desperate grasping, begin to move from essence rather than fear, because the things that are truly meant for you, your people, your path, your power, do not need to be chased, they need to be met. And only a soul in alignment will ever meet them. You are not here to stumble upon meaning as if it were a coin lost in the dirt. You are the architect of meaning, the one who carves depth into the seemingly shallow moments of life. To wake up and ask, what does it all mean, is not weakness. It is the beginning of mastery, for the universe offers no fixed meanings. Events happen, people come and go, circumstances rise and fall. But the meaning of those things is not handed to you, it is built within you. There is no divine script that explains why you suffered what you did, why certain doors closed or why others opened at strange times. But you are not powerless in the face of these mysteries. You are the interpreter, the symbol, maker, the one who can choose to transform tragedy into transformation, endings into initiation, wounds into wisdom. That power does not lie in external control. It lives in internal choice. You cannot always shape the events of your life, but you can shape their meaning, and in that act, you claim your sovereignty. Do not outsource this sacred responsibility. Do not let others define what your success should look like, what your grief should mean, or how your path should unfold. If you do, you will live someone else's story and feel the emptiness of an unlived life. Meaning does not come from consensus. It comes from intimacy with your own soul. It requires silence, reflection, honesty, and courage. The courage to make your own life sacred even if no one else understands why. When you live this way, even the mundane becomes mythic. A morning walk becomes a communion. A difficult conversation becomes a test of integrity. A moment of stillness becomes a doorway to insight. You stop waiting for something big to happen because you realize the sacred is always whispering through the small. So each day, ask not, "What should I do today?" but rather, "What meaning will I create today?" Ask, "What will I elevate with my presence, my attention, my intention?" For in the end, it is not the number of your days that will define your legacy. It is the depth of the meaning you gave them, and that is something only you can build, not through force but through presence. Not through imitation but through authenticity. You are not a passive recipient of life's script. You are the one holding the pen. The parts of yourself that you have rejected, ignored, or labeled as wrong do not disappear. They do not die simply because you deny them a voice. They retreat into the unconscious where they grow in silence, waiting, watching, until you are ready to see them. This is the shadow, and it does not walk behind you in shame or in secrecy. It walks beside you every day, not as your enemy, but as the keeper of the truth you've been too afraid to face. The shadow holds everything you were told not to be: your rage, your envy, your lust, your fear, but also your unclaimed power, your forgotten gifts, your untapped intuition. What you consider dark within you is not evil. It is unintegrated. It is raw potential cloaked in discomfort. The more you deny it, the more it controls you from behind the curtain. But the moment you turn toward it, it begins to reveal not just what you fear, but what you're capable of becoming. Every time you lash out, shrink back, sabotage your own growth, or attract what wounds you, it is not fate punishing you. It is the shadow trying to be seen. It says, "I am a part of you. You cannot be whole until you claim me." The one who integrates the shadow does not become perfect. They become real, honest, grounded, whole, and with that wholeness comes an authority that cannot be faked. The world tells you to polish your light, to smile, to be good, to be nice, but the soul has no interest in masks. It wants you to be true, and that truth includes both your light and your dark. To carry the shadow consciously is to stop living in fear of yourself. It is to say, "Yes, I have rage, and I will learn how to hold it with wisdom. Yes, I have fear, and I will walk with it without letting it rule me. Yes, I have power, and I will no longer pretend I do not." Do not battle your shadow as if it were a demon. That battle never ends. Walk with it, dialogue with it, listen to it. Let it teach you what you've hidden from yourself. When the shadow is no longer a stranger, it becomes an ally. It becomes the fuel for your transformation. Because the truth is, you are not here to be half a person. You are not here to live only in the light. You are here to become whole, and wholeness requires you to walk with all of yourself, especially the parts you once tried to leave behind. The shadow is not against you. It has always been your mirror, your teacher, and your fiercest guide toward becoming fully, powerfully human. Today is not just a day. It is not a repetition of yesterday, nor is it merely a bridge to tomorrow. It is an initiation, a sacred threshold that you are crossing whether you realize it or not. Every morning, you wake not into a world of randomness, but into a living ritual. You are not the same as you were the night before. Subtly, invisibly, something within you has shifted. Perhaps it is slight, a whisper, a sensation, a mood you can't name, but it matters, because every single day, life calls you to step deeper into yourself. That call is the invitation to become more than you were before. Initiation is not always dramatic. It does not always arrive as a thunderbolt or a crisis. More often, it is quiet. It hides in the way you choose to respond to difficulty, in how you carry your silence, in what you decide to let go of, or finally embrace. Initiation is not something that happens to you. It is something you participate in. It requires awareness, attention, willingness. It begins the moment you stop treating the day like something to get through, and start treating it like a fire to walk through. Each day will test something in you. Your patience, your values, your sense of identity, your ability to stay centered in chaos. These are not interruptions to your growth. They are the growth. They are the alchemical processes that turn raw experience into inner gold. Every conversation is a mirror. Every challenge is a threshold. Every choice is a carving tool, shaping the deeper contours of who you are becoming. The one who treats each day as an initiation lives awake, while the one who drifts through days without awareness remains a stranger to their own becoming. Ritualize your life, not by lighting candles or repeating mantras, but by bringing sacred attention to the ordinary. When you open your eyes, ask not, "What do I have to do today?" but "What part of me is being asked to evolve today?" That question alone will shift how you meet the world. It will make you sensitive to the signs, the synchronicities, the quiet symbolic language that life uses to guide those who are willing to listen. You are not a passive traveler through time. You are the initiate, walking your own path of transformation. The mundane becomes holy the moment you see it as part of the unfolding. And when you begin to live this way, nothing is wasted. Not the mistakes, not the heartbreaks, not even the silence. Everything becomes part of your myth. Today is not just another day. It is the fire in which you are being forged. So step into it fully, with courage, with openness, and above all with reverence, for the life within you that is quietly, insistently becoming.